Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And in today's review is something out of the usual, and that is the 9L 3D Flaxan Mark action figure. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. Now you may be asking yourself, Rogelio, when have you made Invincible content? You basically do all FNAF merch type of stuff, or basically drawings, but not Invincible. So for a long while, basically, I've been like an Invincible fan. I've read the comics, I've watched the show, the entirety of it, and I just wanted to show this review because I've gotten this Flaxan Mark figure, which, if you know, is from the Invincible War. And if you see my TikTok, you know that I make a bunch of Invincible content about basically whatever. And if you've seen my TikTok, obviously, you know why I got this figure, but I'll explain that later in the video. But yeah, I've been an Invincible fan myself, and that's why I'm doing this instead of the usual FNAF merch videos. So yeah, here's the Flaxan Mark figure. So I'm just gonna take off the spare hands that it comes with in the box. So here's the accessories, I'll show that in a bit. And here's the packaging, and I just wanted to share because I think it looks interesting from like T13 and like 9L 3D, which I ordered from here. Well, in AliExpress, but it's the same company. Well, it's the same thing, same style of the T13. Also, my camera doesn't want to focus, dude. Okay, so here is a bunch of characters that the company 9L 3D has 3D printed, like a bunch of Invincible characters, anime. Yeah, it just showcases everything they've made, like showcasing all the art of the characters they made. And you can see the Invincible War variants, and Thrag, and Immortal, Rexplode, Omni-Man, Battle Beast, and a bunch of more that you can see here. Also here it says 9L 3D, but I do not speak I don't know what language this is, and I don't want to offend anyone, so I won't be reading it. But if you speak this language, please translate. That would be awesome. Just tell me in the comments. In the back of the box, it shows all the 9L 3D figures that this company has made. It shows a bunch of anime like Jujutsu Kaisen, Dragon Ball, Transformers, Marvel, DC, Invincible, One Piece, and a bunch of other figures here. And I think this looks pretty cool. I really like this packaging, especially for promoting their 9L 3D figures, like their company and stuff. I really like this work of their figures. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Look, also Springtrap. Hold up. Yeah, Spring Boy. And yeah, it's just a bunch of like just 9L 3D figures like anime, Marvel, DC, Invincible, basically whatever. So yeah, as you can see here, here's some fan favorites, basically fictional characters as 3D printed action figures. So okay, you get the point. I just think this box is pretty cool. I just like the style of it. So Flaxan Mark comes with 3 pairs of hands. Here he comes with his clenched fist, which I consider as the normal and basic hands. Here he has his open hands, and here's his hands to hold like some sort of like weapon. Flaxan Mark didn't come with a weapon, nor does he have one. So if you buy another 3D printed action figure that has a weapon, I guess you can use that for Flaxan Mark. So there's that. I think the head sculpt was done pretty well. I like the face here, the goggles and all that stuff. Here he has ears over here, and the hair is pretty much modeled basically well. For this style of action figures of T13, I really like how they stylized the hair, and it's pretty accurate to Mark himself, or specifically Flaxan Mark. But to like the Invincible variants and like Invincible himself, this hair is pretty good. I like the style of hair, and matches him perfectly in the show and comic appearance. Also, the head articulation is very well. It can go up and down like this. It can go like a 360 here, and it can just move all around, as you can see, up and down and a 360. That's a lot of articulation for a head. That looks very good, bro. That's actually pretty flexible for his head, and that's pretty great for posing, cause like, for posing in an action figure, you have to move the head, and it has to move pretty flawlessly in order to make a good pose. So the fact that it has like very good joints on the head to like face directions and stuff, that it's very good. Here's how he looks with his open hands, and here he is with his weapon holding hands. I'd say they translated the Flaxan armor into a T13 body pretty well. Every detail is pretty spot on and accurate to his show and comic appearance. Also, the blue part of the suit is like very like navy blue in the camera, but in person it's like a lighter blue and like not so navy, so I don't know why there's a like a blue difference. Maybe because of the camera, but I'll show you an image here. It's a different shade of blue, which I think in person looks better, but it doesn't look that bad in camera. It actually looks pretty well, I guess. Even though it's different shades of blue, I still like the like costume appearance. I really like how this suit looks. Something I also really like about this figure is that there's no 3D printing errors. Everything in the promotional image is pretty spot on and what I got, and I'm pretty proud of that. Especially since like I don't order much stuff from AliExpress, so I was a bit sketchy about it, but like it looks pretty good. No 3D printing errors, nothing. Everything about this figure is spot on and looks exactly like the promotional images, and I'm just really happy that it looks pretty spot on. And how many times am I going to say that? But it just looks pretty good. Now we're going to take a look at the articulation here. So this is my first 3D printing action figure that I have ever gotten. So this is like a new experience. So taking a look at the shoulder joints, it can go up and down and like go in a full circle, as you can see here. Same with the other arm, and here it can go up and down. And this like this elbow part like limits it from like going back, which is actually pretty smart of them, because, or the T13 design in general, because it can like break and be like loose, and they added the knees, the elbow, so it doesn't break, which is awesome. And here on the chest, you can move it around, which is great for posing. Same thing for here. Yeah, so taking a look at the legs, you can go up and down. I'd say pretty realistic movement. I think it's the right amount of movement this guy needs, because for like posing and stuff, here are the knees, pretty normal. And for the feet here, it has a wide range actually. So it's like great for posing if he's like gonna like move his entire body. I think that's pretty useful. And here even has toe articulation. How cool is that? I mean, that sounded weird, but like that's a pretty cool attention to detail. Like there's a lot of articulation on this guy. And some of those joints, if you right when you get it, like your first like impression of these, it's gonna have very, very stiff joints, and that may be a problem. You guys are gonna be like, oh no, why does it have stiff joints? I hate this figure, this articulation sucks. But like if you loosen the joints and like move it around a bit, it's gonna get more loose over time. It's gonna be completely fine in a normal figure. It's gonna be like very stiff at first, but then like the more you like mess around and pose with it, the better the articulation is gonna be and the poses are gonna be. So yeah, if the joints are stiff, do not worry. That's part of the 3D printed process, and they're gonna loosen over time and become normal eventually. Now you might say, where are the poses? Aren't you supposed to pose this guy? I already did earlier, so here's the images that I took earlier, and I think this is pretty good. I just really like how like the poses look, and ignore my feet, like hands, they suck. Like these, my hand is in the way of like all the posing, and I'm very sorry about that, but I can't do anything about it. And yeah, these are the poses. I think they're pretty well in what I imagine Flaxan Mark would do. And yeah, that's everything about the poses. Now another thing you may ask is, Rogelio, why'd you get Flaxan Mark? He's the weakest variant, the most boring one, and he's just like the most bland one. You could have bought anyone else, any other variant, like Omni Mark, Sinister Mark, anyone. Why'd you get him? So we all know how Flaxan Mark participates in the Invincible War, right? Duh. So who does he go against? None other than the Reaniman. So for my YouTube viewers that are watching this, you may be wondering, where'd you get that? How'd you make that? Where did you buy it? How did you make it? And that's the same thing, but okay. So for my YouTube viewers, I use a WWE figure, and I transformed it into a custom Reaniman from, Invincible. So I just looked at my old WWE figure. I didn't want it. It was kind of boring, and, I rarely knew who he was, so I had to research him, and I was thinking about Invincible, and I said, this guy actually makes a good Reaniman. He has a perfect body size, and he just translates well into a reanimant. So I just turned him into one. I molded all the clay and just transformed it into a reanimant. And I even put the progress videos in TikTok and how and where and like showed you how I made this reanimant. So yeah, this is my custom reanimant figure. And I was thinking about the reanimant during this like progress of making this guy like a while ago, like a few weeks ago, and I said, who else goes through the who fights the reanimant? And my first thought was Flaxan Mark. And this is actually funny because a few days ago, when I was thinking about making the reanimant in the first place, I saw throughout like TikTok that like there's like new T13 Invincible variant figures. There weren't T13, there were 903D. I'm like, that seems pretty interesting. And what was I gonna say? And I saw Flaxan Mark, and I searched up in AliExpress Flaxan Mark 903D, and I saw him that he was available. I wanted Emperor Mark, but he was out of stock. But he's pretty cool, so I wouldn't blame why he would be out of stock in the first place. So yeah, I saw Flaxan Mark, he was available, and I bought him. And I was in the middle of working on the reanimant, and I just bought Flaxan Mark because I just thought he would look pretty cool with his reanimant. I finished the reanimant. Then today, this guy arrives in the mail. Holy coincidence. Whoever like delivered it, like, thank you. That's awesome. The same day I finished the reanimant, I get Flaxan Mark. Holy lucky day. So yeah, there's that. Here's a height comparison compared to Flaxan Mark and the reanimant, and all I gotta say is this is a perfect size. Well, now you guys may be wondering, should they be a same size? Well, Flaxan Mark is a half human, half Flaxan, and the reanimant are dead humans. Shouldn't they be the same body? And they are in the show in the comic. Well, maybe slightly taller, but like not too tall, like how they look like in these figures. But I think this is pretty perfect. This size comparison is pretty perfect because the reanimant now actually look like an actual weapon in the GDA, and they actually look like so in the show it's confirmed that Cecil built these through dead soldiers, war veterans, and the like that's a perfect weapon use from DA Sinclair. And the fact they just look threatening compared to Flaxan Mark, and I can imagine how Mark got defeated by these guys because they're so tall and menacing. So this is why I think this is a perfect size comparison. I just like the reanimant, how they're tall and like taller than Mark because they actually look like weapons and like an actual threat and protectors of the GDA. So I think this is like a perfect size comparison. I say when I first got these guys and compared them, I said, whoa, Flaxan Mark is way too small for this spot. This looks perfect. I mean, this is pretty realistic, I say. Enough yapping. We're toward the end of the video. I mean, you cannot tell me that you can look at this battle duel and have watched the show and comics and not tell me this is Aura, dude. I wish I had more reanimants since there's a bunch of them, obviously. But it is what it is. That's everything about this video. Check out my TikTok account. It's in my channel description. And just check out all my TikTok account, because like I post like the same style of content, but like it's exclusive to TikTok, and it's just stuff that I don't post in YouTube, and it's just a bunch of content that I put, and it's pretty interesting too. I think if you like my channel, check out my TikTok account. It's my channel description. So yeah, what else do I say? Expect a figure fight of these guys, because these guys look awesome. I want to do like a figure fight of them. I think a stop motion takes too much time. So have you seen those T13 battles? I might do something like that with the reanimant and like Flaxan Mark destroying the Pentagon. So yeah, that's everything about this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will return to FNAF merch when like Jazzwares releases their like FNAF merch, their new FNAF merch. Check my community post. They revealed so much stuff, dude. It's actually insane. So when those guys releases, I will be more focused on FNAF if you guys like that, because I'm pretty sure you guys really like those type of content because they're my most viewed videos. So if I don't do much FNAF stuff recently. Don't be surprised since I'm trying to branch out into other reviews. But when Jazzwares releases all their stuff in like fall, in May and October and stuff, expect reviews. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.